Good evening. It is March the 3rd, 2020, Tuesday. Super Tuesday, actually, for all the states that are going to the polls today. Journal 293, T+336, which is surreal. The closer we get to my transplant birthday, the more incomprehensible that milestone becomes. But that's not what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about preparation because that's how I started the morning off, actually. Which, by the way, if you're a perfectionist, and I'm guilty as charged in that regard, it means you're absolutely never satisfied with whatever it is that you've done. Presentation that I'm going to give is for a annual meeting, a large conference that's going to occur at the end of March. And anybody who knows me and anybody that's worked with me before knows that under most normal circumstances, I would have been working on that presentation diligently, probably up until it was time to wander down to the meeting room and deliver it. Because it could always be different, it could always be better, it could always be more appropriate, it could always be more to the point. But that isn't the case here. In this particular instance, I had a specific timeline that I had to follow in order to go ahead and come up with a rough draft, an outline, and then flesh that outline out, and then ultimately present it so that the seminar conference manager would have an opportunity to go ahead and print handout materials that would be appropriate for the meeting. Or at least that's my assumption. And it's a pretty good assumption based upon how well I know the people involved. So this morning, because I'm one of the few presenters doing breakout sessions that are not part of the organization itself, I was asked to go ahead and run through the presentation for a number of the other people that will be delivering their breakout session presentations at the same time I am, which is always frustrating as hell because, there were many times in the course of all the years that I worked with this company that I wanted to go to the other breakout sessions and I couldn't because I was working myself. So this morning I got to go ahead and road test the presentation. It was the first time I had the opportunity to go ahead and actually work my way through the presentation. I'm going to ignore that. I hope you can. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and fix this. There we go. That was easy. Just hang up on him. Robocall, in case you're wondering. How could you do that? It's a robocall. It's easy. You're hanging up on a machine. I have no remorse about hanging up on a machine. It does not make me feel bad at all. So this rehearsal that we did this morning, the road test that we did this morning, was an example of something that I feel very strongly about, and that's doing the work. One of the problems with always working on a presentation and working on it up until the moment it's time to deliver it is that you really don't have an opportunity to rehearse it. You don't have the opportunity to go over it, to get in front of a camera or get in front of a group and actually see what's going to work and what's not going to work. And how you're going to do it. And it's interesting because, in all honesty, I've changed the nature of the way I do presentations dramatically over the last couple of years. Well, that's not true because over the last couple of years I haven't done any presentations, but this will be the first in a long time. But instead of having presentations and PowerPoints that have countless bullet points, which is something I was guilty of, and then depending upon that as the skeleton for what you wanted to talk about, I have done things differently now, and I have created or discovered images that suit each specific topic I want to talk about, and then bring those topics out without the structural support of those outlined bullet points. And it's very different when you do a presentation that way. And I like it a lot more. I really enjoy it a lot more. This will probably be the third I've done that way, and I think it's important because it builds familiarity with your subject material, and the more comfortable you are, the more familiar you are with the subject material, the more you're able to relate to your audience and make it something that they can make it something relevant for them, something so that they're going to wind up getting something out of it. The only way you can do that is if you do the work. The only way you can do that is if you do the work. The problem is that I can't tell you that when it comes time to deliver this presentation at the end of March, that it's going to be the same presentation that I delivered this morning. One of the things that having single images on the screen and then fleshing out those images yourself is the fact that you have a lot of latitude to be creative. In fact, I really can't even tell you that of the 2 times I deliver that breakout session, it's going to be the same for both sessions. Probably because the groups are going to be different, and as you're working, you see what works and you see what doesn't. So and this is as much a blog for myself as it is for anybody that's listening. It's about doing the work. It's about being prepared. It's about rehearsing. It's about creating something familiar, at least to yourself, so that you can go ahead and deliver that message effectively to another group of people who really needs to hear that message. So as we get closer, I'm likely to go ahead and tell you more about this. But for now, that's it. Stay well. Take care. I'm not sure I'll be back tomorrow, and Thursday is a City of Hope Day. So there's a possibility if I am back tomorrow, I won't be broadcasting again on Thursday. So in the meantime, stay well. Take care. Signing off.